Okay, class, so let's have a look at your practice book. We all did interactive reading page as our homework. You guys all did your homework, looks very good. Let's talk about it, okay? So Michael, can you read question number 1 for me, please?
What materials are used in traditional buildings of your country?
Very good. Michael, what is traditional?
Like old?
Yeah, something that is old. So let's think about traditional buildings in Korea. Zio, what are the traditional buildings of Korea?
한옥,
Hanok is one very good example. Zio, what materials are used to build Hanok?
wood and soil.
Wood and soil, very good. Is that what you wrote down?
Yes.
Okay, very good. JB, can you read number 2, please?
What natural and sustainable material do adobe structures use?
Very good. We read about adobe structures, right? Do you guys remember what this means? Natural and sustainable. Does anyone know what that means? Michael, what does sustainable mean? Anyone know?
You can keep using it.
Yeah, we can use it over and over again, and it doesn't run out. Okay? So what natural and sustainable materials does adobe structure use? Zio?
Clay.
Clay. We don't run out of clay, right? We can use it over and over again. So do you think that is sustainable?
Yes.
I think so too. Is that good for the environment, JB? So we have our reading skills. Everyone have their pages open. Perfect. Now I'm going to give you 30 seconds to read over topic and main idea. Go. So, Michael, what is a topic?
What the passage is about.
Very good. And topic, is that a full sentence, Zio?
No.
No, it's expressed in
A few words.
in a few words, a short phrase. Very good. And there are a few tips that we can talk about in terms of finding the topic. So JB, how can we find the topic? What is one way?
Look at the title.
That is one way we can find our topic. Okay. So what's another way? Where is the topic, Zio?
It is mentioned in the introductory paragraph.
Very good. What does introductory mean?
Starting.
Starting is the first
First
paragraph.
paragraph.
You're right, first paragraph. Very good, okay? And Michael, is this something that we mentioned just once in that first paragraph?
No, most often.
It's most often mentioned in the first paragraph, okay? So that's how we can find the topic. Maybe sometimes it's in the title, and we have to look for the word that gets mentioned over and over again, okay? So let's look at the main idea. JB, what is the main idea?
Is the author's most important point.
Most important point about what?
About the topic.
About the topic. Very good. Okay. And if we can summarize the main idea in one sentence, what do we call that, Zio?
Thesis statement.
Thesis statement. Very good. And where can we find the thesis statement usually, Michael?
Beginning of the passage.
Usually at the, not always, but usually at the beginning of the passage. Okay, now let's talk about an example with topic and a main idea, okay? So JB, can you give me an example of a topic? Just any topic you want to talk about.
English.
Very good. And Michael, topic is English, okay? So what is your most important point about English? What's your opinion?
English is important.
Okay, very good. So that's what we're going to talk about. Okay? So now we're going to read about topic sentences and supporting details. You guys have 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute. Okay, so you guys have 1 minute to read it over, and then we'll talk about it. Go. So, Zio, what does a topic sentence do?
It supports the thesis statement.
It supports the thesis statement. And once again, what is a thesis statement again, Zio?
It's the author's opinion.
Author's opinion, most important opinion about what?
The topic.
The topic. Very good. So topic sentence supports the thesis statement. Very good, Zio. And JB, topic sentences, they're usually one of 3 things. What are they?
Examples,
Sometimes they can be an example. What else?
reasons,
Reason
or facts.
or a fact. Very good. And Michael, where can we find the topic sentence? Is it in the first paragraph?
No, it's in the
La-
body.
Very good. It's in the body paragraphs. Good job. Okay, and just like the thesis statement, it's usually in one sentence. Okay, very good. Now, let's talk about the supporting detail. Zio, what is the supporting detail again?
They are additional details the author provides to make the topic sentence clear.
Very good. They're additional details that makes a topic sentence clear. So we have our thesis statement. And what supports the thesis statement again? Zio?
Topic sentence.
Topic sentence. And what supports the topic sentence, Zio? Supporting detail. Very good. So let's talk about our example. So Michael said our thesis statement is learning English is very important, right? So JB, can you maybe give me a topic sentence, so a fact or an example or a reason that supports that idea?
It can help you get into a good college.
Very good. So everyone, let's read the title together. Listen.
Old is new again.
And go.
Old is new again.
Okay, so are we going to talk about something old or something new?
Both.
Maybe a little bit of both. Okay, let's have a look at the first question. JB, can you read number 1 for me, please?
What kind of house do you live in?
Okay, so what kind of house do you live in? Let's look at some pictures. Zio, what kind of house is this? What kind of building is this?
Apartment?
Maybe an apartment building. Do you live in an apartment building that looks like this?
Yes.
Really, you do?
Yes.
Okay, very rich. Okay, and what do you see here, guys?
A castle?
A castle. We have a castle here. And what kind of house is this?
A modern one?
Modern one. Does it look normal to you?
No.
Not really. It's not. It's very unique, right? Michael, why is it unique, or why did you say it was modern?
It has a weird design.
Weird design. Can you tell me more?
Yeah, so like the stairs, they don't look like normal.
So, JB, what kind of house do you live in? Did you see your house there?
No.
No, you didn't see your house. Can you tell me more about your house?
I live in an apartment.
Apartment, okay. And number 2, Michael, can you read number 2 for me, please?
What are some building materials that you know?
Okay, so building materials. So, Michael, what is your house made out of?
Stone,
Stone,
glass,
glass. Zio, what about your fancy building? What is this made out of?
Metal.
Metal.
Concrete.
Concrete, very good. So that's what we're going to learn about today. Let's look down here. We have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles here. I want you to have a look, and I want you to think about what you want to talk about. Okay, so JB, which circle did you choose?
Building materials?
Building materials, first one. So this is what we talked about, right? Metal, glass. What other building materials do you see? Do you know of?
Wood.
Wood. Do you think
Clay.
they're natural or modern material?
Wood, natural
Okay, what comes to mind when you hear this word, renewable sources? Zio?
Sustainable.
Sustainable, we learned the word sustainable today, right? And Zio, what does sustainable mean again?
It doesn't run out.
It doesn't run out. We can use it over and over again. Very good. So let's think about some renewable sources when you're building houses, right? So Michael, can you think of some renewable sources?
bamboo,
Bamboo is one. What else?
Clay.
Clay. Clay can be one. And what do you think are the environmental impact of building, let's say, clay houses? JB, what do you think?
I think it's good for the environment.
And why do you say that?
Because there is no pollution.
There's no pollution, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to learn about today. Okay, so let's read our passage together. Old is new again. The first paragraph, I'll give you guys 2 minutes to read it over, and I'm going to ask you some questions. Go. So we're going to first talk about modern buildings. JB, what are modern buildings made of?
Concrete,
Concrete. What else?
metal,
Mhm.
and wood.
And wood, okay? And Michael, what are the advantages of using these modern materials?
they're cheap and durable.
Cheap and durable. And Zio, what are the disadvantages of using these materials?
Making these materials produces a large amount of greenhouse gases.
Very good. That's one example of one of the big problems. What's the big problem, Zio, of using these materials?
Making greenhouse gases.
Okay, so but what does that, is that good or bad for something?
Bad for the environment.
Bad for the environment, very good. So it has a bad environmental impact. And like Zio says, one of the examples of the negative environmental impact is greenhouse gases. Very good. And JB, what's another example of a negative impact on the environment?
The destruction of forests.
Destruction of forests, that's right. These are not good for the environment, right? Okay, so let's think back about our reading skills. Okay, so remember we learned topic and our main idea, right? So once again, what is the topic? JB?
What the passage is about?
What the passage is all about. Very good, okay? And remember, how do we find the topic? What's one way? Zio?
Find the words that most often mentioned.
Often mentioned, very good. And where else can we find the topic or get the hint to find the topic?
Title?
The title, very good. Let's look at the title first, okay? So what is our title, Michael?
Old is new again.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a hint. We're going to look for something that is old, okay? And Zio, you said that it's going to be the word that comes up over and over again, most often mentioned. So what words came up over and over again?
Buildings.
Buildings, okay, very good. So JB, is there a word that describes old buildings here?
Traditional?
Traditional buildings. So that is our topic, and that's what the story is going to be all about, okay? And remember, what is our main idea, JB? What about the topic?
The most important point.
Very good. Author's most important point about traditional buildings, okay? And Zio, so what, if we can summarize the main idea in one sentence, what do we call that again?
Thesis statement.
Can you find the thesis statement here for me, please?
Such concerns have led to a renewed interest in traditional building techniques.
Okay, very good. And why? What is that good for?
It uses natural and sustainable materials.
Very good. So that is our thesis. Okay, so everyone mark that down in their books. And let's read the second paragraph. And once again, I'm going to give you maybe 1 minute to read it this time, okay? And then I'm going to ask you some questions. Go. Okay, so we just went over our second paragraph, or our first body paragraph. Now, before reading our third paragraph, we're going to have a look at this, okay? So these are independent reading questions. So have a look at these questions, and you're going to read that third paragraph on your own, okay? So try to find answers to these questions, take notes, and then we'll go over it afterwards. Okay, you guys have 4 minutes. Go. Let's have a look at comprehension check-up questions. JB, can you read number 1 for me, please?
What is the passage mainly about?
Okay, so what is the passage mainly about? Okay, so we're looking for our topic. Okay, so what was our topic again? What kind of buildings?
Traditional buildings.
Traditional buildings, very good. And our author's most important point about traditional building, okay, our thesis statement. Let's have a look at the thesis statement. Michael, can you read the thesis statement from our first paragraph?
Such concerns have led to a renewed interest in traditional building techniques.
Okay, first of all, building. Okay, so that's the word that came up over and over again, right? So which one of these does not have the word building? Zio?
B.
B, so B is not our answer. Okay, and we're talking about traditional buildings, right? So JB, which one does not talk about traditional buildings?
A.
A.
D.
D, what kind of building is D?
Modern building.
Modern buildings, very good. So it looks like it's C, but Michael, can you read at the end of our thesis statement, what does it mention about traditional buildings?
Which often utilize natural and sustainable materials.
Very good. Zio, does the word natural and sustainable look familiar to you?
Yes.
Which one had?
Friendly.
Very good. Okay, so that's what our story was all about. Let's have a look at number 2. Zio, can you read 2 for me, please?
Which of the following is not mentioned about Adobe structures?
Not mentioned about Adobe structures. JB, which paragraph mentioned Adobe structures?
Second paragraph.
Second paragraph, that's right. So I want you to have a look at the second paragraph and look at all the supporting details we highlighted together, okay? And see if you can find the answer that is not mentioned. You guys have 1 minute. Okay, so 1 minute is up. Zio, which one is not mentioned?
D.
That's right. Very good. They are favorable in desert area. Which areas are the adobe structures favorable in?
Tropical regions.
Tropical regions. That's why it's not mentioned. Let's have a look at the next question. Let's work on our summary together. First of all, we have our thesis statement. Okay, Zio, which paragraph is thesis statement in?
Paragraph 1.
Paragraph number 1. And have a look in your book, your gallery book, and I want you to find which line is the thesis statement in. Let's count it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so JB, which line is it in?
On 9.
9. Is it just one line?
To 12.
Line 9 to 12. So this is what you need to write on your practice book. Okay? So let's have a look at the paragraph number 2 and paragraph number 3. And I want you to find where the topic sentences and supporting details are. You guys have 2 minutes. Go. Okay, so now we finished our summary map here. I want you guys to have a look at these ones here. We have our thesis statement, topic sentence 1, topic sentence 2. Using these 3 sentences, I want you to write your own summary. Okay, so use those sentences, but don't just copy. Try to use your own words. Okay, you guys have 3 minutes. Let's work on our summary together for our story. Okay, so in the beginning, let's talk about the characters first. Okay, so who were the characters? Zio?
Sarah, Manny, and Ms. Suarez.
Okay, and Ms. Suarez. Very good. And where did the story take place, JB?
Community center.
Community center. I'm going to write the CC. Okay? Okay, very good. And what was the problem? What problem did they have? Zio?
Manny and Farah were fighting.
They were fighting. Manny versus Farah. They were fighting. Okay? And what were they fighting about? Let's write that in the middle. What were they trying to accomplish? Michael, do you remember?
Organize a raffle.
Raffle. They want to raise funds to go where? Do you guys remember?
Global warming convention.
Very good. So they wanted to raise a fund. Okay. To go to a global warming convention. Very good. Okay. And what was the problem? What did Farah do wrong? JB?
Farah didn't organize the raffle.
Very good. And Zio, what did Manny do wrong?
Manny didn't check up on her earlier.
Very good. And Miss Suarez came in, and what did she do? Do you guys remember?
She gave some advice.
She gave some advice. Right? All right. And what happened in the end, Michael? Do you remember?
They started organizing the raffle.
Yeah, they started organizing the raffle together. They decided to work together. Very good. So I want you guys to work on your summary. Okay, so don't write full sentences. Okay, I want you to write some key words. And after you're done with your summary, I want you to write it, rewrite it using your own words. Okay, I'll give you guys 5 minutes.